This morning is gonna be stretches while watching a YouTube channel of mine, Smosh. Maybe some light exercises, and also breakfast. I don't know. Let's get to it.
And our guest today, Keith and Noah. Man, solid duo. Shocked this has not happened yet. How you guys feeling?
I'm feeling great. Can we just match, but not on purpose? Yeah, it always happens. It's like our periods are synced. I like that.
Maybe this is where we're starting. Noah, I know you at least used to be on Reddit.
There's a lot.
Yeah, I remember you were kind of the first person who told me about Reddit years ago, and then I kind of got hooked on it, unfortunately.
Yeah, back when we first were working at that company that is.
These are Tom and Jerry.
They used
Cool.
to tell us to do work, and then I used to not do it and instead go on Reddit and then tell everyone what I was reading about. But now since the show, I've stopped doing Reddit because it's more fun to watch the show than to go on the Reddit.
Yeah, I like to think that we sacrifice by actually reading Reddit, and then we just give people the fun stories to hear, and they don't have to do the rest of it. And Keith, you don't go on Reddit.
Yeah, I don't read.
I love Keith.
Okay, we've got some weird ones today. I think a lot of these were picked based on the titles being really funny. I think these are going to be fun. So, all right, let's begin. This comes from R Confession.
Ooh.
I controlled my neighbor's TV for 6 months from my phone and made him sell the TV. Now I regret.
Why would you do
Last year,
that?
I had an asshole neighbor who always would be
Oh.
playing loud music, be rude to everyone, and not pick up his dog's shit when they would go for walks
I get
inside
it.
the building. The dog had a barking problem too, but I'm not hating on the dog. One evening I had problems with the internet, and for shits and giggles, I tried to connect to my neighbor's Wi-Fi with a password. 01234567889. Guess what? It connected. The same evening at 11 p.m., I started hearing shitty drum and bass from my neighbor's apartment as usual, and all of a sudden I see a pop-up appear on my phone. I have a Samsung phone, and when you open the YouTube app on any Samsung Smart TV, a pop-up appears on your phone with the TV Cast YouTube app, as long as both devices are on the same Wi-Fi network. You have full control of TV YouTube on your phone. Pause, play, volume, skip video if it's a playlist, choose a different recommended video, etc. At first I did not realize what the pop-up was, and I just thought, what the fuck is this? I thought my phone was glitching. There were options like pause, forward, volume, etc. I pressed pause, and all of a sudden there was silence in my neighbor's apartment. After a few seconds, the music started again, and I saw that the play button turned to a pause button again on my phone. I pressed pause again. Music disappeared, and behind the wall I heard, what the fuck? I cannot describe the feelings I had in that moment. My facial expression must have looked like that Chris Pratt meme from Parks and Rec. The music started playing again, and again I pressed pause. Now I'm hearing grunts and profanities from my neighbor. I could feel his confusion and anger through the walls. I had never felt so much power in my life. God, universe, or whatever you want to call it, had blessed me with a gift. I kept talking with him that evening. Pause, skip video, turn the volume up and down. He tried turning TV on and off, logging in and out of his YouTube account, and nothing seemed to work. He was so pissed off. It was the first time I was happy that the walls in our building were so thin. This went on for days. It turned out he mostly used YouTube on his TV to watch videos, podcasts, even to play music. He was going completely insane. He did switch to Spotify, I'm guessing, for music, but still, every time he wanted to watch a podcast or some videos, I was there, ready and waiting for him to feel my wrath.
What in the?
Throughout the next few months, I heard him call customer support multiple times, making him reset the TV to factory settings, logging in and out of the YouTube app countless times. Sometimes I would stop messing with it for a couple of days to give him false hope. Then all of a sudden, when I hear him watching some comedy podcast that he's enjoying, I would start playing another video for him. He would literally scream. Story short, after 6 months of this, as I'm walking down the hallway one day, I saw a random couple carrying the TV out of his apartment and him holding cash in his hand. I drove him to sell the TV and buy a new one. At that moment, I felt bad and started to regret my actions. Felt kind of childish about the fact that I had been doing this for 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months. Sheesh.
Wow. That's pretty don't make your password 0124.
No.
Yeah, the crazy thing is that's the first time this has happened to him. He needs to check his bank account.
I know.
Neither.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I just feel like I feel like I would get suspicious that someone's connected to my Wi-Fi because I've had that kind of happen where my Bluetooth speakers start playing something else and I'm like, oh, someone accidentally connected to my
Really?
speakers.
Oh.
Yeah, which is not as like as big of a security risk.
Right.
Like that can happen. That only happened like once. But I'm like, oh, it's someone around. But like I never assumed.
We also waited 6 months. That's
6 months is so
You
long.
really dealt with that. But also, it's like
Yeah,
it's a
patience.
TV. That's expensive to
Yeah.
replace. So he's probably
We have to listen. TVs are expensive, but when I moved in my new apartment 2 years ago, I was shocked. And I'm sure they're having some crazy sale. I got like a 40-inch TV for like $220.
Oh yeah, you can get good deals if you get with the right stuff.
And now, with that being said, it does monitor me all the time,
Yeah.
and it feeds me ads. But it was real cheap.
He could have had a lot more fun with this. He didn't say what videos he was playing. See, like if it was me, no matter what video he's watching or what he's doing, I would just always switch it to the music video for Who Let the Dogs Out.
What?
Just endlessly, just.
Oh my
I would
goodness.
pick one video and it would just be that.
Wow.
And then him explaining that to customer support, like, yeah, but the TV, it keeps switching to Who Let the Dogs Out.
That's crazy. What I would do, I would record my own videos, unlisted, right? Unlisted videos. And then, you can never find them again. It's like, how do I look this up? How do I do it? And it's me from like the future, right? Horrible. Or just screw with it, with messages. Yeah.
Some comments here. Look at it this way. Some couple got a nice second-hand TV. Hope you responded. And for a discount. Thank you. Never used it that way. Someone else said, but now you can't control this TV. Maybe you should have only used it when the need arose. He said, I just was not ready to wield so much power. I didn't think about it in fact, like I could have literally made him question reality. For example, press pause only when he goes to the kitchen, or skip video every time he says a certain word.
What in the
Yeah, we'll
world?
put that thing in the I can, someone else said, I can see for a few days, maybe a few weeks, but 6 months, that is some top tier level commitment, sir.
Mhm.
At least you realize what you were doing was childish, but don't sit on any regret, just don't do it again. You got a good laugh in, plus you mentioned they played loud music / drums at 11 p.m., slightly justified in my opinion. Oki responded, the dude was a complete asshole. The building was complaining about him, but yeah, it does not really justify my actions, lol. Someone said, did he let the new buyers know it was defective?
Oh.
If he didn't, he's the asshole. Obi responded, no idea about
You
that.
know
Either way,
what?
they definitely got a good TV for a second-hand price.
Yeah.
But see, this is the thing. The guy's not changing his Wi-Fi password. So his next TV, he could connect.
Mhm.
I see that's where you get the deal.
I think I got a business idea. Right? I can get TVs half off.
Oh my goodness.
You know what? The guy who actually started controlling the other guy's TV, he actually sounds like a really good person.
I think he's
just like you said, he doesn't want to wield the power or whatever, but he sounds like a very level-headed person. Like, you know, like, I don't know.
I got real bad.
I want to get to know him.
Are you scared of them finding your Wi-Fi password?
No, I just feel like he's a cool person, you know? Like, he's like, you know, I know I was wrong, but like, I can put that. That's cool.
Yeah. No, whenever someone writes a tweet, they're like, yeah, I know what I'm doing wrong. It kind of washes away a lot for some reason.
He was just being petty Betty. Petty.
Hello there.
Petty what?
Petty Mercy.
Okay, next story. This comes from Petty Revenge. A barmaid laughed at my drink order. I was on holiday with my son, who was 14, and we were watching football in a bar in the evening. I don't really drink, but do enjoy a cocktail while on holiday. The server came by and asked if we wanted drinks. I asked for a pina colada, and she snickered a little at the order and kind of
Well, that
laughed
sounds
out,
good.
okay, then walked off to make it. This annoyed me a little. I'm just a grown man wanting to drink a tasty cocktail.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? When she brought the drink back, I got my petty revenge. As she was placing the drink on the table, I said, my mom loved these, God rest her. I always have one on the anniversary of her death to remember her. She looked horrified and tried to shuffle off quickly,
Yeah.
so I asked her for a cocktail stirrer, so she had to come back again. When she came back, I took a sip from the straw, kissed my hand, and pointed to the sky, trying to look sad. She was so visibly uncomfortable, I had to stifle my own laughs. She noticeably avoided our table multiple times after.
You know what? Respect.
It's a way of life. It's taking on
That's so funny. Oh my goodness.
Yes. Pina colada is not even like a silly drink.
That's
man.
yeah, delicious.
Good.
The name is funny though.
Yeah. You got it right.
Pina
That's like 10
colada.
out of 10. I have no notes on that.
No,
Yeah.
not at all. It's just,
That's so
I would
funny.
probably do the same.
Same.
Wait, was he at a sports bar?
Yeah, it's a sports bar.
I will
Which
say,
yeah, pina colada and sports bar.
yeah, I just don't think you should trust their pina coladas. That's it.
Yeah. I was
It's
surprised
definitely
they
not.
had it.
Yeah, I think that's why she laughed. She was like, okay, I don't know if we
Yeah.
got that.
No,
funny.
I mean, unless you're like in some sort of tropical location where it's justified.
Or like at a
But I think that because he's saying no, I'm assuming this is the UK, so that's extra funny.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel judged for what you order at a restaurant?
Judge for what I ordered.
I do. Every time I go to Chili's, I do order the chicken crispers, and I do kind of have a moment where I'm like, and I look at the menu, even though I've ordered the same thing since I was 7. I'll be like, yeah, I'll get the chicken crispers.
Isn't that insane?
It's like, I'm like, can I just say chicken fingers? Like,
Oh my, that's what it is. It's just a chicken finger?
but they call them chicken crispers.
Wow. And so that it's not on the kid's menu.
No.
They're so good. They're so good. Yeah.
Love
Oh,
that.
see, I got something now. So whenever I'd go to Applebee's, it was like a thing in our household. Every Sunday we go to Applebee's after church. And I'll never forget like ordering Shirley Temples all the time. Even until like adulthood, I would order Shirley Temples. But I didn't realize that it was actually supposed to like, it's the ones that don't have alcohol in it, right? It's like the,
Is it supposed to have alcohol?
it's used, but this is the,
No, because I think it's isn't it Dirty Shirley that has
yeah,
alcohol?
exactly. But I
Shirley
thought
Temple
for
is
the
good.
longest, exactly. But I felt bad because I was like, oh, like I can put alcohol in there. You know, I like to drink. I like to have a good time. So once I got to the age and I was still ordering, like I could have put alcohol in my Dirty Shirley. Well, I could have made it a Dirty Shirley.
You were just ordering.
Barely twirling.
You were just ordering Shirley Temples even though you were over 21.
Yes, and I didn't know you could put alcohol in there.
That's not that bad.
I mean, but no, like I like to like have fun. So I just, they were like, you know, it's supposed to be like a dirty one, and I'm like, hold on, what? That's a thing? It just, I don't know, it messed me up. I feel like I missed out.
The comments, wait, like in quotations, as if the son is saying it. Wait, Dad, Grandma died? No, Junior. And then someone responded, no, Junior. We took her to the farm to play with Grandpa. Yeah. Someone said, you taught your son a valuable lesson on how to deal with jerky people. No need to get loud and yell at someone, just embarrass the shit out of them. Someone said, my younger brother is a big guy. I'm big. He has a shaved head.
Hey,
tattoos, swears like
chill.
a sailor, and looks pretty scary, really. He also really likes a cocktail. Years ago, he took me out for my 30th birthday. We had a lovely meal. Then we went to sit at the bar. They had a limited time seasonal cocktail called a pear drop, or pear drop, or pear drop. I don't remember what was in it, but they were bloody good. We were both wankered by the time we left.
In or out?
He's not remotely bothered or ashamed by what others might think. Enjoy your cocktails, guys. Life is far too short. Also, fair play to you, OP. That was a stunning slap.
Sorry,
And
not
last,
step on
someone
your
said,
spot.
minding my own business while wearing all black clothing. Random stranger. You'd look so much prettier if you wore some color. Me, I just came from a funeral, man. Not really, but the look of mortification on her face was worth the sin of the small lie. Yeah, man. No, don't judge people for their drinks.
Get your paws off
This
my
next story comes from relationship advice.
Ooh, we got you.
Yeah, we freaking know. Here we go. Toupee expose. I, a 23-year-old woman, have come to find out that my boyfriend, who's 26, wears a toupee and hasn't told me.
You didn't know you had a toupee?
Oh no! Oh no!
It obviously is a really good toupee.
Yeah, very good,
It's a
yeah.
great one.
Need help figuring out how to react. Changed ages slightly to stay anonymous.
Why?
I recently have come to the conclusion that my boyfriend is wearing a toupee.
What do you care you got a toupee?
I started finding hair that was clearly fake around the house and felt his hair for the first time. He usually shies away from letting me touch it. And it's
Yeah.
clearly wig. As a black woman, I'm very familiar with what fake hair feels like, and it is definitely wearing a toupee. In addition, he only takes baths around me, with the exception of a single shower where he came out with dry hair. I've
Hey,
also
I'd
only
rather
been to
fake
his
hair
house
than a
once,
real
and found him
fucking I'd be
cleaned up specifically.
I'd be assuming he cheating.
Before I got there.
So
I've talked about
I don't
my big
care.
hair with him before, and it's never even looked like he's considered telling me about his. It feels like a breach of trust after knowing each other for so many
Why?
months that he can't just tell me. How should I approach this? And for those wondering, the problem isn't that he wears a toupee, it's that he won't talk about it or acknowledge it.
He doesn't
despite
want
how
to
open I've
yet.
been
He's not
about
ready
my
yet.
fake hair with him. Oh no.
You bringing it up is gonna make it insecure.
I think I feel bad, but why it's a little funny to me is that I'm like, as a guy, like, it's okay to be bald. Like, I mean, it's okay
Miss
for
some
anyone to be
socks.
bald, but like, societally, it's not even like a thing. Yeah. I feel like he's a late 20s man. There's tons of bald dudes out there. But I now am picturing just a very, I'm laughing because I'm picturing a wig that is very clearly fake.
So obvious.
Like just a wig that does not match the guy, like an emo wig. It's not like, babe, what's wrong? Sorry.
And the day before was like a full afro.
It's a completely new haircut. He's just like, yeah, my hair's crazy. Sorry, it's humid today, so that's why my hair is down to my waist.
I have a friend actually who, so, just walk with me. So one day I get a text message from one of my friends, it's a link of a viral YouTube video, right? And one of my friends who was balding actually got a man, like a wig, like a lace front. The video had like 5 million views in such a short amount of time. And like, it looks really, really good. It looks good, and we all knew it was fake, but it got to the point where he left it on too long. He tried to dye it.
No!
Take the wig off. Yes, he tried to dye it. And one of my friends said, hey man, I think it's time to let it go. But it's like, it looked really good, and I reported it from a distance. I never seen it in person, but like,
That
from what it
would.
looked like, the video probably has like 20 million views now.
Yeah.
And different friends
Yeah.
reached out, said, hey man, you seen so and so in this suit video? I'm like, yeah, I seen it.
My cousin has, I'm not trying to call out my cousin, but the other side of my family has early baldness, and it is something where I think, and there's many reasons that people bald early, like one is obviously just genetics or hormones or something, but also like you can have alopecia or like other, so I think like it is
Alright.
a legitimate thing, like a real insecurity that people have, and like obviously it's not one that I've had to deal with, but I do think that it is funny for me, because the juxtaposition in my mind is your partner is someone that you should hopefully be as open as possible with, and then also your partner is a black woman who is very openly telling you that, like, she has experience with it, she also has them, and she's aware of it, so it's just funny to be like, no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
like, you're talking to the expert.
It's funny.
They're missing an opportunity to go with big shopping together.
Whoa.
That's the problem. I wish you would reach out to him.
Because she could actually teach him some techniques.
She should
It's
just say,
true.
That would hurt.
I think I feel bad for him. I mean, I do feel bad for him because there's nothing worse than like having an insecurity, desperately trying to like hide it, and
Yeah.
that's such a struggle day in, day out for people. And I'm sure it would be so freeing for him to know that she's like, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't seem like it affects how she views him. And so for him to
I'm gonna make the bed. You don't want to be on here.
about that would probably be so great for him. But I feel bad for him that he's trying so hard to, and not even let your partner be able to
Alright,
put on
I'm
your face
gonna
or
order
your- that he's gonna eventually have to tell.
Eventually, but like my thing is, what else he got to hide? You know,
Yeah.
he's hiding way more
What
than
are you
that.
hiding under the toupee? That's what it is. The toupee's up front.
Some comments here.
I know.
I think it's hilarious that someone who wears wigs considers his toupee a breach of trust. OP, it's not that he wears them, it's that he isn't vulnerable to talk about it, which had 25 downvotes.
He's not ready. He's not
I
ready
get
to
that
be
it's like, it's
vulnerable.
up to
Yeah.
him and it's his
Yeah.
journey to like, but yeah, I understand the position also that she's in where she can obviously tell, but she can't call him out on it, and that's, but I think,
I've
yeah,
had
going back,
people, no people balding and insecure about it.
I'm attracted to you regardless of that, so, but I get that it's,
Yeah, it is, and obviously, because like we don't deal with it. Like I know a lot of people, especially growing up, like people get in accidents and they might like lose teeth. Like I know many kids where like you would have no idea until they show you, you know.
Ooh, it's
You're understand how it's unfortunate that the way that you look, you get treated certain ways that you don't have control over, so I can understand why you would want to present a certain way or like avoid attention. But I do think that it's not fully communicated. I think in the post what OP is trying to say, I am interpreting it.
That's true.
You know, she wants to say, I think it's weird that he can't be vulnerable with his partner, and I'm trying to give him the space to open up. And I think that I'm getting a little clouded in her trying to tell him what he needs to do.
That's
you know?
true. She's just like, hey, I want to establish trust in this relationship.
Yeah.
I get that. Because it is tough when you know your partner's not telling you something. But they seem that they're early on in their relationship, I think. So my take is just that this guy will feel better once he is honest with his partner.
Yeah.
He will feel better. Because he'll be like, oh, I don't have to hide this. It reminds me, I like to my own personal take is like I used to wear lifts in my shoes and it didn't do much. I had like an inch of height. Yeah.
Oh shit.
When you said that to me, I had no idea.
Yeah, well, they were like massive. They were like crazy. It was like, but that was forever ago. I stopped wearing them pretty early on when I got here, and I felt so much better.
Yeah.
I felt better just like, yeah, I'm short.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I don't know. Then you can't really love yourself until you really like accept it. Some other comments here. I wouldn't call it a breach of trust. It sounds more like he may not trust you enough yet to admit something so personal. If you had a weird toe but always use socks, you wouldn't find it so strange, I guess. Some men are very insecure about balding and feel less of a man for it. Some attempt treatments, implants, and the like. I'm thinking the toupee may have been the last resort after all failed. Whatever you say, kind of reassuring, as it will likely be exposing a very big insecurity of his. On the bright
Where's it
side,
disappear
it will
to?
uncover how he reacts when faced with his insecurities.
That's a good comment.
That's beautiful. I like that.
I think that comment was great. It was something for me, like I don't experience baldness, and it is something that I think, you know, a lot of people are insecure, like I said, and it makes them feel less of a man. And that sucks. That really sucks.
It does suck.
It also, you can say to me, some people choose to be bald because they think they do better.
Like they talk about like being less of a man. I only attribute baldness to like
Really?
the actual heroes.
Yeah.
Like Vin Diesel, Jason Statham, like I don't know. In fairness to him, fake hair on women is seen as a lot more socially acceptable. I'd be a bit bummed that he didn't feel like he could tell me. Well, I would maybe consider it like a yellow flag, but it wouldn't be a gigantic deal to me. Someone said, bald guy, and not sure what to tell you. But I long for a day where dudes wearing wigs is acceptable. I want to Fabio my shit up without being laughed out of every room of people I know. That is true. I didn't think about that. It is strange how it is seen in a certain way.
That's like almost everything. A lot of the norms are being like washed away.
Yeah, this turned into me cleaning my room.
What
What the heck?